Susan, you're good.
I am.
All right, we are back from break, and we're going on to the regular agenda. Agenda item number 11. This is an informational item only. This is from the administrative office to receive a presentation by the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce. And I will turn it over to Susan and Sherry.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us today. We're very excited to be here. My name is Sherry Roosh, and I'm the current president for the Calaveras Chamber.
And I'm Susan Weatherby, interim CEO of the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce.
So today we just want to give you kind of an update to let you know what your chamber has been up to. Keep going, it's not showing everything. That's so no, that's lovely. Go back. Yeah. Sorry. The technical difficulty is not showing all of the slide. That's okay. So basically, I just wanted to update you that during the pandemic, the Chamber worked very hard to distribute all PPE to the businesses. We worked hard to make sure that we worked with the county as far as the Paycheck Protection Plan, the mortgage assistance, and all of the things that were needed during the pandemic. Post-pandemic, we've been helping with the storm as much as we can for businesses, making sure that businesses have the information for FEMA, SBA, and whatever they need to make sure that they help with their costs of damage. Go ahead. Good thing I memorized this.
I
know. Oh, look at Martin. Thank you so much, Martin. Yay. Thank you so much. It's a pain when you don't have what you wrote. So working with our county, obviously, the FEMA, we had attended the first day and just kind of popped in to make sure there weren't any businesses that had any needed any assistance from us. Next slide. Your Calaveras Chamber for the past 2 years has sponsored a Choose Calaveras campaign. You'll see these little stickers all over the place, which is wonderful. When they become a member or renew their membership, they get these Choose Calaveras County stickers. And we have done everything we can to make sure that we keep our tax dollars local because it helps to grow our businesses and helps build our economy. You can see that we did, for Valentine's Day, we put out all the dinners. During the holidays, we did shop local, so really trying to keep those dollars in our county. This is our Mugshot Monday that we do with our local businesses for social media, and you can see you don't have to be a human to be on Mugshot Monday, but this is just to support our local businesses. So our events, you can change. So we had March 26th of 2022, our installation dinner, which was held at the Met. We were a packed house. It was wonderful. We get to choose our favorite employees, small business, large business, nonprofit, entrepreneur of the year. It was a great time to be had by all. Our ribbon cuttings, we do a lot of these for our businesses. We do if they have an anniversary, if they're opening, if they just want to drum up some business, just to bring the community into their place of work. On the right track, we love this motley crew. I love this picture. We go to both Calaveras High School and Bret Harte High School, and we teach students about, it's like the game of life, how to do all the things that they need to do as seniors. Next slide. So we have all kinds of businesses that come and help. We teach the students how to register to vote, very important, how to find a job, how to pay their bills, how to write a check, simple things that they don't necessarily know. So we do everything we can to equip them. So our Leadership Calaveras is a great program that we do. We take a group of adults and we spend 10 months with them, teaching them about the county, teaching them what kinds of things impact our county, and it's an amazing program that we have. This last year, we had our very first Rural Chamber Summit. This was exciting and wonderful. We invited all the chambers throughout the state of California that were small and rural to come to Calaveras. We appreciated the Board of Supervisors coming in and saying hi to everyone. We are very excited that we will have our next Rural Chamber Summit, October 5th and 6th, again at Ironstone, and we are starting those invitations already. We do have SBDC, who has been a huge sponsor for this. We were blessed to have Tara Gray-Lynn from Go Biz, which is also one of our partners, and Heather Luzzi from SBA. So this is a great event for us, and they don't do any kind of rural chamber summits anywhere. They have the huge one that they do in February with the Western Calaveras Chambers. However, that's for larger chambers, so this is nice to have for the smaller chambers. Our State of the County, which most of you attend, is a wonderful event to kind of give all of our people who attend kind of the state of where we are and what's to come in Calaveras County. We appreciate Dana Jorgensen, our senator, and our Congress aides that also come to the event and kind of give a state of the county. Our Calaveras-opoly. Yay! It's finally here. So this was a long time coming for us, a lot of work. And so businesses who chose to purchase a square are on the board. We have an older map of Calaveras in the center. And for the Ore Cart and the Fool's Gold, if you know how to play Monopoly, they have history of Calaveras. So we tried very hard. If you have not purchased your game, you could do so at the chamber, but they are, it's a wonderful, it's good for our businesses and good for our county.
And fun to play right now when it's raining, right?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
We do support our local business associations. We've been working hard with Angels Camp Association and with Valley Springs Association. And I know that we have other associations that are just kind of starting to get themselves off the ground, and we are do everything that we can to support them and their ribbon cuttings and things that they do for businesses. We had our first back in person, finally, our Good Morning Calaveras, and we had our guest speaker, CAO Craig Pedro. Thank you, Craig, again for coming, and our CEO, Doug Archer, and it was a very well-attended, packed house, and we're looking forward to the next one. Dignity Health actually sponsored this and paid for the food and so forth, so we thank them, and please stay tuned for the next one coming up. So our CBRC, which is our Calaveras Business Resource, we're so excited to have our new partners inside that building. Is buzzing and busy. We have to figure out the doorbell situation because it rings and all the entities go to the door to figure out who's there. So we're working on that. But we have the Calaveras Mariposa Action Agency, CMCAA, that is there. The Housing for HHSA is there. Motherlode Job Training. We're doing some more classes with SBDC, and of course the Chamber is there. And we're working really hard to become a one-stop shop for employers and employees. And so super excited about our building. We have done some changes with the Chamber. We kind of have a new look. This was a process in the making to, this is our brochure, and we've caught up with the, the 21st century in that we have through COVID, we all did the QR code. So now we have a QR code on there. You can actually scan that with your phone and join the Chamber immediately. So we're very excited about that. And working with the Visitors Bureau, it's been a wonderful partnership. Very excited to be working with them. Your Calaveras Chamber is working hard to become a one-stop shop. Our partners with our Visitor Bureau has helped keep dollars local with tourists. We witnessed during our Rural Summit several chambers working with their Visitors Bureau. The Visitors Center would bring in the tourists into the county, and the Chamber would work with the tourists by providing a list of businesses arranged by area for them to visit. The Chambers also provided discount for foods, wine, activities, etc., and this would create a great partnership. With our county partners at the Calaveras Business Resource and the ongoing collaboration with our economic developer and their Visitors Bureau, we would like to ask the board to consider giving the Calaveras Chamber a small portion of the TOT to help us continue with this endeavor. We are asking for $50,000, and I know you cannot make a decision. I'm just putting it out there. This is to help our businesses thrive, build our chamber, keep dollars local, and creates a wonderful experience for our tourists. Next. That's all you have?
Oh, wait, hold on. No.
One more.
There we go.
All right, our upcoming events, so we have our nominations actually are closed for our Best of Calaveras. We just selected those, and we're super excited for that to come out. And we invite you to our annual dinner, which will be on April 1st. If you haven't gotten your tickets, you still have time. We will have a cocktail hour at 5, followed by dinner, live music, silent auction, and a casino night. We will be out at the fairgrounds. We will be eating ribs, so make sure you wear your attire for that. And we're super excited about this event. And we thank you so much for your time and for allowing us to give an update. And if there's any questions that you have for us, we'll do our best to answer them.
Any board questions? Supervisor Garamendi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and not so much a question as a statement. I want to thank you both for all that you do for our community, and both of you are intimately involved in volunteer activities throughout the community. I think Sherry told me the other day, 19 years on the school board. That's quite a commitment. Thank you.
It is.
And worth noting.
Thank you.
But I think that, and full disclosure, I'm a dues-paying member of the Chamber of Commerce and used to serve on the board. But I think that, one of the things that you guys offer that I think the county ought to consider supporting is really, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in our community, and we've got a lot of tourists coming in, so there's opportunity, but a lot of our people don't have a lot of business experience. And so you guys providing those workshops and points of contact and mentoring, I found to be a very important tool. It's one thing to have the spirit and maybe find the capital, but there's just some things you don't know when you start a business that another business can tell you. How to do the little things like buy insurance or payroll or do you have access correctly? So I really value that, and I think that I would hope that when we get to budget, we consider your request, because I think that that's an add-on to what we need to accomplish to be business-friendly in this community, is the service that you guys provide. So when we get there, I don't know what amount or how this board will go, but I would like us to consider it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other board comments, questions? We'll open to the public. Any public comments or questions?
My name is Christopher Buttner. I am a full-time Murphy's resident and entrepreneurial business owner, co-owner of Murphy's Witch Walk LLC, and I'll be reading from a prepared statement. I addressed this board during general public comment on February 14th about my experiences with intentional suppression of my entrepreneurial business ventures. Today's agenda item 11, receive a presentation by the Calaveras County of Commerce, appears to be a pretext for a $50,000 gift from this county's TOT funds. I voice my staunchest opposition to the outlandish proposal by the Calaveras Chamber and endorsed by the Calaveras Visitors Bureau. On March 8th, the Chamber, complicit with the CVB and Murphy's Business Association, jointly received a formal cease and desist letter from me, copied to my legal counsel, addressing their collective misappropriation of the trademark-protected Murphy's Witch Walk promotional compound slogan in a late scramble to promote this weekend's Murphy's Irish Day. The trio's infringement of my intellectual property demonstrates a collective void of marketing sophistication and legal savvy. Thus far, only the Chamber and the CVB have wisely acceded to my legal demand to immediately cease and desist, deleting their trademark infringing material from their respective online marketing assets to remediate their trespass upon my federally protected legacy trademark. The Chamber's Leadership Calaveras program purports to encourage development of responsible business community leadership, so I ask, what example does trademark infringement teach the business community about leadership? What is the Chamber's justification for holding out a tin cup for taxpayer-funded welfare? What accountability would the Chamber have for receiving this government largesse? Let the Chamber propose a business plan demonstrating how they'll deliver an acceptable ROI on a low-interest $50,000 SBA loan. The former interim chamber CEO, who is now the current taxpayer salaried CVB executive director and junior supervisor, must recuse himself from voting. The chamber's request for a $50,000 gift must be unanimously denied. Supervisors, let this serve as a pragmatic demonstration of entrepreneurial Calaveras leadership. Junior supervisor, you and your business bureau cohorts must rise to my level. I will no longer go down to yours. And Supervisor Garamendi, I share your pain. This is how to sink a fence post. To be continued. Thank you all.
Is there any other public comments?
Al Sagala, Taxpayer Association. I've been a chamber member for a long time, and I really appreciate that group, and it's fine people. Very seldom do they make mistakes. Looks like an exception has occurred. No way should tax money go to a private organization, and especially gas tax. Once you pass a tax, it's very, and you find out that the money is really not doing that good, it's really hard to undo something like that. So in 1997, I was on the first leadership program, which was wonderful, and inspired me to start a taxpayer association. So as a direct response to their influence, you've got a county taxpayer association. It's unfortunate that the taxpayer association doesn't advocate taxing, using the gas tax to fund the chamber. Sorry, thank you.
Is there any other public comments? Seeing none in the room, is there any online?
There are no online public comments.
Okay. Is there any other board comments? Supervisor Follendorf.
Thank you for your presentation. I have one question. Where are all the locations you can buy the Calaveras Opoly?
Yes, you can get them at Olive Crush in Valley Springs, Rusty Bucket in Copperopolis,
Okay.
the Visitors Bureau and Angels Camp at Murphy's, and then Moke Hill Nets in McCollum Hill. And you can also come by the chamber offices. But also, as we're around and about, we can certainly drop off anywhere. If you just let us know, email us at chamber@calaveras.org, and we can drop them off for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your presentation. It was a very good presentation, and thank you for bringing us an update on things that are going on with the chamber. And I plan to be there April 1st. The VSABA will be there. Awesome. I know we couldn't get a table. We were trying to get a table, but we're going to show up early and get a table.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
We'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll take a 5-minute break for them to break down before we move on.
Ready?
All right, we'll move on to the next item. The next item on the agenda, we have pulled item 12, so we move on to item 13. This is an informational item from Human Resources. This is to receive an update from the staff on the status of internship programs within the county service. Judy Hawkins.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Judy Hawkins, Human Resources and Risk Director. So I am very happy to be here today to give you an update on our internship program. And we have some exciting information to share with you. So, of course, everybody knows now we're in a time of a severe labor shortage. It's even more important to ensure that we have a program that promotes student awareness about the diversity of county careers. Our goal for this program is to enhance the education and training of the local student population while strengthening overall recruitment by supporting pathways to employment. And the pathways is kind of our big focus moving forward. And so just a little background, when I had CJ Singh in my office, we had worked, and this was August of 2017, we worked to formalize a high school internship program. We worked closely with Scott Nanick, CCOE, and then both of the high schools. And at that time, I believe we had 5 interns. And unfortunately, after we did have a successful year in 18-19, then everything kind of got stopped by COVID. And so then we've had to put the program on hold. And then also departments have had to recover, getting people back in the office, all of that. And so now is the perfect time to start taking up the program again and moving forward. We have been working on it for a while now. We have, Nick Marvin's been working closely with CCOE and the different high schools. So I am I do want to make sure I thank CJ for his work on this program initially. And at the time, he was the model. He had graduated a local high school, went on to a junior college, university, and then returned to our county. Although he's not working for us anymore, he is still has his dream job within Calaveras County. And so he's also a willing partner to go and talk to the high schools. So at this time, so that we can go over our high school program, when we start up the program, we work with the county departments to see which departments can take in an intern. Because although we would love to have interns in all departments, they have to have the staff available to work with the interns, to allow the interns to shadow them, all of that. And so we do have to have the department participation. And then the next step is the school outreach, which is what we have been doing now. And so each of the interns, when we identify who wants to be in the program, they go through an actual hiring process. And so they fill out applications and they go through interviews. So since Nick has been working with the schools, I'm going to let him take over and talk about where he's at.
Good morning, Board Chair and members of the board. Nick Marvin from, what's that? Good morning, thank you. I'll give you an update of where we are currently with the high school intern program. Currently, we have 16 programs within our departments that are eager to bring in an intern. I have met with students and staff at Calaveras High School several times now, and have been able to get quite a bit of interest from the students there and a lot of support from the faculty as well. I am currently setting up meetings with Brett Hart and excited to get them started, and then I will be focusing on Mountain Oak School as well. Currently, we have 8 applicants from Calaveras High School alone, which is more than the 5 that we had from the previous time, and we also have 4 more interested, and then we are expecting applications from them soon. The applications so far are with the departments for initial review, and we are now ready to actually move forward with interviews. We hope to get those started, scheduled either later today or tomorrow. We will be reaching out to the departments and the students to get them in. It is important to note that this will not just be the students coming in, sitting in a room, scanning documents, running for coffee or anything like that. Our plan is to get them, this will be an opportunity to enhance the programs within the departments and give these students a chance to shadow and learn as much as they can about the different services that we offer. This will be key to our organizational succession planning as outlined in our strategic plan. We want to show the students exactly what a career in these fields involve and help guide them in exploring careers that they may not have been interested in before, but we are getting them interested as well. Perfect example is Jesse Fowler from the Ag Department, our Ag Commissioner, went with me to Calaveras High on March 1st. She met with a couple of students and actually was able to shift one of the students into applying for the Ag Department that had no interest in it before. We are hopeful that within the next school year we'll have this process running very smoothly, and we hope to create kind of a mock job fair with the students where they'll be able to come, meet the departments, apply for the internship, and interview within the same day so that we could get them started immediately going into the next school year. This will open the door for the students into Calaveras, and we're hoping they'll start as interns and then they'll be here for the next 30 or 40 years and retiring from here in no time, maybe taking all of our spots here. So with that, I would like to introduce Odile Morrison from the Calaveras High School CTE program, who's been a huge help, her and Pamela Richmond over there. So with no further ado, Odile.
Good morning, board members. As Nick says, I am Strong Workforce Coordinator at Calaveras High School, where my children attended, we're very excited to see this program start up again. We have been working closely with Nick to facilitate that, and actually it's very timely because at Calaveras High School we have always had a strong focus on work experience, but we've really focused on that in the last couple of years. And we have a freshman entry semester 1 class where students do some career exploration, planning their lives, that kind of thing. And we'll revisit that. And every student at Calaveras, every incoming student at Calaveras High School does that program. And then, as you know, we have a very robust career tech education department with 4 strong pathways in the ag and natural resources, medical, public service, auto and engineering. And again, we're really working closely with local industry and now the county on providing work experience specifically to juniors and seniors in those pathways. And those, obviously, the Calaveras County and other internships are open to all students. They don't have to be in the career tech education pathway. So we're super excited about this development, and we'd really like to thank the staff in HR for reviving this project and making it possible again. And we're just looking forward to seeing how it develops. We have lots of plans, lots of schemes, and we'll revisit those in the next presentation, I think. Well, thank you. Does anybody have any questions about Calaveras High involvement?
Any questions?
Just curious, with the work program with the high schoolers, what age are they able to enter at? 14 or 16?
It depends on
Part-time.
it depends on the business. Some businesses require them to be 18, which is problematic. With the county, it's 16, I think. We decided on 16, and in other local businesses, also 16. And the way it works in terms of that's kind
16.
of 16.
Thank you.
Long-winded way of saying 16.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and it's so good to see you. I mean, we started working together when our kids were in elementary school in the gardens, so it's been a long time. I'm very supportive of this program. I think it's super important. When we first started talking about this, I remember a student from Calaveras High School who wanted to go study environmental sciences and was telling me she had to get out of the county and go work all these other places, and I asked her if she knew anything about environmental management, EMS, agency over it and the things we do there, and they had no idea. So I think it would be great as we build this to really send as many of our managers or key employees that can articulate what they do into the schools. You might find kids that are interested in health and human services. We had social workers this morning in career tech, over in the programs I've got there, getting our roads department over there and talking. Scotty's kind of got a quick line to a lot of those kids coaching. But really try to find a way to show these kids the wide breadth of opportunity that exists right here in the county. We're the largest employer in our county. We have a lot to offer, and I really hope our managers and our employees, if they have the opportunity, take the time to go over and talk to those classes, because you never know where your future employee might be sitting in that room, and showing them the opportunities right here at home. So, there's a lot of jobs here that don't require advanced degrees. And this could be a way for them to begin working with us and pursue their opportunities to education and growth. So the more we can catch, the better. So thank you both very much for doing this program.
So I do also want to let the board know that we, right now, we did want to give you an update. We still are finishing putting the program together. We will bring you back another more formal presentation with pictures. The students that we have pictures of from several years ago are gone, and I couldn't get their approval to release them, except for Vijit Singh works for us. So, but we are excited to bring more information to you, and we will be giving you regular updates. And besides high school, we also will be focusing on our college interns. We have several interns within our social services, behavioral health, and public health. And so we also want to grow those opportunities. But thank you very much. Is there any other questions I can answer?
Is there any public comments on this presentation? No public comments in the room. Is there any online?
There are no online.
Okay, well, thank you, Judy, and for your presentation. We look forward to the next one, the update with pictures and how many interns we have here, and, yeah, the presentation at the school.
Yes,
Thank you.
We're hoping that it gets bigger and better every year.
Yeah, yeah. I
Thank
think
you.
it's a good thing. Thank you. All right, we move on to item number 14. This is an action item. It's a resolution from Human Resources. Adopt a resolution authorizing changes to the position control list for fiscal year 2022, 2023, and mid-year budget changes, and approve the new job descriptions. Judy Hawkins, we just saw you.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, good to see you again. So we are bringing back, in tandem with the meeting we had on February 28th for the mid-year budget changes, we are bringing back the position control list changes as well as the corresponding job descriptions. We also have the job description, which is for a extra hire position only, which is equipment operator, which was not part of the presentation on the 28th.
Is there any board questions? Comments? Seeing none. Is there any public comments or questions on this item? Seeing none. Is there any online?
There are no online public comments.
We have no public comments in the room or online, so I'll bring it back to the board. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second.
A motion by Supervisor Fallendorf, second by Supervisor Huberty. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you very much.
And we will move on to item number 15. It's a resolution from OES. It's adopt a resolution ratifying the Director of Emergency Services proclamation of a local state of emergency for the winter storm damages and extreme weather events beginning on or around February 23rd, 2023. And it's John Osborne. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Chair, honorable board members, John Osborne, your Director of Emergency Services. On March 10th, I declared a local disaster regarding the latest set of storms that we have been facing. The incident period started on or about February 23rd. 25th is more likely. I do need to correct in the third paragraph. I mentioned December 31st, which was actually the other set of storms that we declared. So in the proclamation of local emergency, I requested all state and federal resources like we normally do. And on the 12th of March, Governor Newsom included us in our his state of emergency, so we've been named by the state. I'm also aware that Governor Newsom requested not the full major disaster declaration, but the step below that allows for direct federal assistance to the state, which is the kind of the precursor to go back to the major declaration. So does anybody have any questions about the proclamation? And then if so, I'd love to answer them, and then I can roll into a quick update if you'd like.
Any question by the board? No? Any question from public?
Yeah. And
Mr. Segalia.
There's no online public comment either.
There's somebody online?
No,
There's nobody online? I think Al has a...
This is public comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for your good work. We have a simple problem that's become complex. In the closing of Copper Cove Drive, because of storm damage, it looks like, I've been out there and looked at it, it looks like 4 hours of work can open that up with a gravel road, substituting part of the asphalt. However, the county is not interested in doing that, but maybe emergency services could see some value in it to open that up. It could be open 4 hours. That's my comment.
Thank you, Al. No public comment online, that was the only public in the room, so we will bring it back to the board. Any other questions, John? I see the correct date is in the resolution. It was just on the forward part of it that wasn't, so we're good for the proclamation. Any motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Garamendi, second by Supervisor Follendorf. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you, John.
Would you guys like an update? Okay. So the weather pattern has changed slightly. The amounts of rain have come down just a smidge, but we'll take it. And the brunt of the latest set of storms is today and tonight. If we can make it through December, if we can make it through till tomorrow, there's a couple-day break before the next set of storms, which are been characterized as weak over the weekend. We actually have a lot of resources out and about. We currently have a preposition of 6 fire engines, local fire engines that are task forced specifically to flood or extreme weather response. We've had that up for a couple days. As a part of that preposition, we actually, for the first time since I've been with the county, had included in that an overhead team. The advantage of that is we currently have 6 folks from across the state into our EOC that are acting in our chief positions, such as logistics, liaison, PIO, and things like that. We've really spent the last 24 hours ramping those folks up and getting us into a mode where we can operate with that added resource. In addition to that, I talked about that. I talked about the weather. We have all of our regular county folks, not regular because they're all great, but our regular players at the ready. We've been meeting with Health and Human Services, so we have the wraparound service, the sheltering, the temporary evacuation points. We have that pre-planned. We've been spending time with the Sheriff's Office in pre-planning evacuation warnings for the areas where that are likely to flood should we take a bunch of rain. So we're positioned well for tonight and tomorrow, but looking forward to the sunshine on Thursday. And hopefully the weather holds true for over the weekend, and that's a little bit weaker storm, maybe just a regular snow or wet rainstorm for once. Any questions?
I have a question. Can you walk through the process of, mostly for constituents, because I think they don't realize you guys are still out there working and trying to keep everyone safe. High water, not much you guys can get into without putting yourselves at risk. What the process is once the storm settles of addressing damages around the county.
Yes, ma'am. So depending on the type of aid that the governor and or the president decides is appropriate for this particular disaster, it's been very difficult to separate the last one from this one because literally the last one ended and we started a new one. So in the last one, we were awarded both public assistance and individual assistance. The individual assistance is for folks that suffered damage to their residence, their homes, and things of those nature. That's the, I'll call it IA or individual assistance. The public assistance side is for damages to our infrastructure, such as Copper Cove Road. The issue with Copper Cove Road and actually several other of the roads is it's not as simple as 4 hours going out and taking a dump truck and dumping gravel out there. Those roadways and the soil underneath them are engineered, and the culverts that run underneath them are also engineered, and so to assume without an engineering report about the status of that soil and then the infrastructure underneath that roadway, and opening that roadway with just gravel over the top of it and not knowing the damages underneath it presents a serious potential hazard. We have taken mitigation steps to not make that damage any worse in some areas through tarping and sandbagging and closing of the roads. But we really do that for the public safety. Until we know what that road really looks like underneath it, it's just not as simple as the asphalt over the top of it. But that public assistance is what allows us to come in with the engineer and the public works team, get an assessment, get a plan together, and then submit that as a project to repair that roadway. Does that cover what you need?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Other comments or questions? Martin?
I'd just like to ask, my understanding of this is going to be a warm rain that's coming in. Do you know what the elevation is that we will see snow?
5,000 to 6,000.
So today, tonight, snow levels between 5,500 and 7,000 feet, been right there in the middle. This morning, rising to 7,000 to 8,500 feet this afternoon, then lowering back down to 3,000 to 5,000. So it's really going to climb up the hill and put a lot of water into the snow that's there, and then it's going to come right back down and put more snow on top of it.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have another question, and Gary and I talked about this a couple days ago. So we see where all the damages are down on the lower plains during this. What happened, and you may not have the answer, but in the higher elevation, we're not going to see those damages until well after the snow is gone and melted. So do these proclamations that the county has been doing also cover once the snow is gone and we can actually see what is going on in the higher elevation? Or how did that work?
So it gets a little tricky because we've been one right after the other. The way that the state and the federal government work is there's an incident period for this set of storms. So if there was damage in this storm, you work through the available resources for that one. If there's damage in this storm, you have to be able to discern when the damage took place, which gets difficult when there's 186 feet of snow, right? But what we're seeing is kind of a multifaceted disaster across the entire county. So it seems that the hot topic is the flooding in the lower areas. The problem is in the foothill areas, all that water is coming through the foothills before it floods the lowlands, and that's where we're getting slide outs and damaged roads and culverts and things like that. We also had a snow mix in there, so structures that maybe weren't accustomed or built to be having as much snow as we've had, we rained on top of that snow, which makes it about 5 times heavier. So we're starting to see some damages, leaking roofs, buckling, those types of things. And then in the high country, not only are we fighting literally historic snow levels, as far as like our folks out plowing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but the snow load on top of the residents and structures up in the high country are now really, really saturated with water. We've had enough snow that if it slid off the roof, the pile that's on the ground is now supporting the snow on the roof and won't let it get off. And so it's difficult. What we are seeing over the last couple of days is we're starting to see the internal signs in the buildings, the leaking, the drywall buckling, and those signs of stress that there's damage to that building. And once we see that, we are making a path to get someone out to inspect that. So we know at least there's damage there, and we're reporting that damage. And then hopefully sometime around May, when all this melts, we'll be able to get in and get an accurate assessment of the damages.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
John, it seems like you've been on the disaster alert since the new year, so you're in your 3rd month of disaster. I hope you and your team are hanging in there. You guys always seem to have a good attitude. But I can imagine the burden is great with all your cooperators and everybody who's been going around the clock. So I guess mine is less a question, expression of gratitude. And
Thank you.
Hang in there.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You bet.
Maybe I get a phone call. Can you put your mic on, please? I came over this morning, it was rising. I'm sorry. I thought maybe I'd get a phone call about Cosco Creek this morning when I drove over about 7 a.m. It was rising. But so far, over the course of these storms, we've been, knock on wood,
We have had eyes on Cosgrove Creek, not quite hourly, and kind of the founder of the Cosgrove Creek is the two bridges right there on Hogan Dam Road.
Yeah.
We've intentionally gone out and laid eyes on that. We know that when it starts going around those culverts and the bridge abutments, that's when the fun starts. And we've been intentionally eyeing that multiple times each and every day. We have had actually great partnerships from our cooperators like CCWD, like the American Red Cross, our county departments. Public Works has been going nonstop for, I think, 4 weeks. 12 on, 12 off, first and 10 do it all over again kind of stuff. And they've just been plowing and plowing and plowing, and they've really been fighting to just keep the emergency single lane. Remember that when they plow one lane so that we can get equipment into the people that need it and get ambulances out, and then we try to widen that. And they've been working very, very hard to do that, and it seems like just about the time we get to about a lane and a half, we take more snow. So those guys that are out doing that in the middle of the night have been working extremely hard, and OES is grateful for the team that we have within this county. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Is there any public comments or anything on that? Update? No? Okay, we'll bring it back. We'll go on to the next item, which is supervisors' announcements in compliance with Government Code 53232.3D. Board members shall provide brief reports on any meetings attended at the expense of the local agency and may make other announcements or report out. We'll start with Supervisor Hubbard.
Thank you, Chair. I have nothing to report.
Supervisor Garamendi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just report on the RCRC meeting last week. Obviously, a couple hundred pages of information, but of note, we continue to move forward with the Golden State Connect Authority. RCRC came up with $2 million to start this internet project a year and a couple months ago. Now we're at $20 million of activity. If we keep going on the path we could be at $200 million by this time next year. So this is happening. Calaveras County, thanks to Stan and Kathy, have been wonderful participants in this. We have our data back, and we are beginning to fine-tune that data so that we could begin making decisions on behalf of Golden State Connect and Calaveras, how we will deploy and build a new municipal-based broadband for Calaveras County in the future. So it's big, it's moving quick. I think we wake up every day and see it double in size, and we're now at 40 California counties. 40 out of 58 are members of this. So hopefully we'll have some good news to present to Calaveras County and those who do not have internet, that it is coming.
Yeah, good job. Thank you for that report. Supervisor Pollendorf.
Gary's waiting for it. Our local Butt Heart Girls basketball team won the state champions for Division 5. So big congratulations to them. Those girls really worked hard to get where they're at, and it's a really, for most of them being their senior year, a good closeout. So congratulations to Butt Heart.
Congrats to Bret Hart. Yes, we look forward to a proclamation. Supervisor Stopper.
Nothing to report, Chair Toffenelli.
Nothing to report, okay? And I have nothing to report either, other than good job, Bret Hart girls basketball team. That's right. And with that, we are going to adjourn, and we're going to go back into closed session. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of the week.